Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Bianca, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Was trying to make sure that you could hear me. Okay, Sophie, can you hear me? Sophie? Well, what we got here is we've got two women that is missing from Kansas. They left on Saturday. Two moms went to pick up one mom's children to bring back the children for the daughter's birthday, which was today. So I don't know if Sophie can hear me or not. She is on panel, but I cannot hear her. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to start with one of the videos. And let me know if you can hear the video. Now tell me, are you guys able to see the stream at all? You don't hear anything. Okay, for some reason. Sophie, are you here? Trying to make sure that I'm getting the video here to you guys. Bear with me. Well, maybe I wasn't ready to do this. So I'm trying to figure out something don't look right. Trying to figure out how to add the media. Sophie, it says yours is not connected. I'll drop you that link again. Anyway, while I'm doing that, we have two women that is missing on the way to Oklahoma, two Kansas women missing on the way to Oklahoma to pick up children. I'm trying to get the I'm new at this. This is only my third time doing it, so I'm trying to figure out how to share. I don't know, for some reason Sophie's keeps disconnecting for some reason. It is sad. It's very sad. And I really want to be able to share these videos with you. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to share these videos. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I dropped that link for Sophie again, but we're going to go ahead and get this playing. Hey, practice makes perfect, right? We hope. Okay, we're going to start this again. If I see Sophie come back. Well, it should be playing, and it is not. Let's try this again. Woo! Sophie, can you hear me? Ooh, I'm having issues, but we'll figure it out.
What are you learning about this mysterious case? Missing persons case. All right, here at News Nation, we've covered plenty of missing persons cases.
We got it?
To know that when people vanish, they rarely do so two at a time while on their way to pick up the kids. Yet that's just what appears to have happened to two moms in Oklahoma this past weekend, leaving behind one abandoned car and a slew of unanswered questions and a terrified community. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation hasn't released many details, but this much we do know. 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly were traveling together to pick up children, and they never made it to the pickup location. Authorities say the car they were driving was found on the side of a rural road between Elkhart, Kansas, and Eva, Oklahoma. Highway Patrol have called both women at risk. News Nation correspondent Brooke Schaefer joins us now live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Brooke, what are you learning about this mysterious case?
Elizabeth, still so many questions surrounding the disappearance of these two moms. Like you said, we know that Veronica and Jillian were in a car. They were leaving Kansas, driving to rural Eva, Oklahoma to pick up children over the weekend when they seemingly vanished. Authorities found the car they were in abandoned near the highway. Today, a school not far from where these women were headed put on lockdown. The superintendent telling parents there are still so many unanswered questions, and for that reason, students today were kept indoors, doors stayed locked, and extra security was called in. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and local authorities today working to find these moms now missing since Saturday, calling their disappearance suspicious.
As of right now, as the investigation continued, when we were requested, we are unsure where these women are or what happened to them. That unknown is what has created it suspicious for us at this time.
And today we don't know how authorities found that car abandoned on the side of the road, what state it was in. We asked investigators if these women left any belongings behind. Was there blood? Were the windows smashed? So far, officials unable to answer our questions about that, as family and friends of these two women, of course, desperate to get them back home. Elizabeth?
Wow, Brooke, a whole school put under lockdown as the search goes on for those two moms. Thanks so much, Brooke Schaefer, reporting live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
All right. So I still don't know what happened with Sophie. This is a new channel. This is something really new.
It's the middle of the night, February 26th, in Hendersonville, Tennessee. 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers should be safe.
Oh, we got a lot going on here.
Moms are missing. Their abandoned car was found in the panhandle of
we got
Oklahoma. They were
somebody
on
going
a
here.
48-mile trip, and their car was found abandoned 3 miles from their destination, and there is no sign of the missing women. They have been missing since Saturday, the day before Easter.
Hold on. Well, I'm glad to know this is going on now. Well, we'll just cover Sebastian while we're at it. Can't even figure out what that's going to. Bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what happened there, but we had to stop that immediately because it definitely had a problem. So, yes, the video with the attorney is what I was trying to bring up, but somehow I ended up with something else. So, but we will bring her up. Got to work out the bugs, I guess. That's how that goes. Okay. Drop this link one more time for something. Everything's wrong.
Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for coming to spend part of your Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024 with me. I was watching the chat before I came live. This was a last minute stream. So don't worry if you did not get a notification, because I literally just scheduled this about a half an hour ago. Or do any of you know about this story? This is a very sad, very tragic, very scary story out of Oklahoma. 2 Kansas moms are missing. Their abandoned car was found in the panhandle of Oklahoma. They were on a 48-mile trip, and their car was found abandoned 3 miles from their destination, and there is no sign of the missing women. They have been missing since Saturday, the day before Easter, March 30th. A lot of people don't know about it. I am hoping that some locals join us from Oklahoma and from the Kansas area so they can give us a little bit more intel and information about the area. Call me Alice, because I fell into a rabbit hole on this case today, and I have so much information that I am not seeing anywhere. In fact, I was digging into this case all day, hours and hours and hours. Thank you. Okie Mom lives in Oklahoma. Thank you. So this is a big story for you guys, right? There are Facebook groups up right now to try and find these women. And what I have found may shock you, but it probably won't surprise you. I was digging into it all day, and then I saw another creator that I know, whose show I was on recently, was going to cover it. And I thought, oh, okay, well, they're just going to talk about everything that I have to say. So I waited. And while I was still doing my research, doing my work, I watched that show, and they didn't say anything that I'm about to say. So I don't know if you saw that, but I've got the information for you. And I think that we need to get the word out. I think we need to help find these women. And I think there are a lot of possibilities. The last stream that I watched earlier was talking about trafficking and drugs. And I'm here to tell you that based on what I found today, I do not think that that is the case. I do not think so. Those of you who know, if you live in this area, it is very desolate. It's very deserted. I'm going to put up the missing poster just for a second so I can at least give you a little bit of a briefing about what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're talking about, as always, the victims. Veronica Butler, who's 27 years old, a mother of, I believe, 2. And Jillian Kelly, who's 39 years old. She's a minister's wife, and she is also a mom. Let us take a look at the missing poster. Try to make it a little bit bigger for you. This is not getting a lot of press. It's not getting a lot of play, and I don't know why, but I am here to spread the word. And I know you, my viewers, are here to spread the word also, and that is what you do. Because when we covered that case of Kimberly Singler, the mom who went missing from Colorado Springs, and I know that I have so many international viewers, and even some of my Canadian viewers were kind of like, oh, it's Colorado, like, how am I going to help? Well, guess what? Kimberly Singler, by the time they found her a few days later, was in the UK. So, and you know what she did, if you recall. So these women are not guilty of anything. They are just missing. They are not, it is not believed that they fled. It is believed that something nefarious happened, and the Oklahoma State Investigative Bureau is saying that they think there is foul play. In fact, one of the schools nearby went on lockdown today because they were also very, very nervous. So here is the missing person poster from the Aware Foundation of Virginia. I'm sure that they are very happy that I'm using their poster to spread the word about the good work that they do. Veronica, it is the Aware Foundation of Virginia. Veronica Butler is 27 years old. She's pictured here on the left. She is a redhead, age 27, green eyes, and 5'4". Jillian Kelly, with one L, Jilian Kelly, is 39 years old. It says on the poster brown hair and blue eyes, but her hair looks blonde to me. So who am I to say? And it goes on to say, on March 30th of 2024, the Texas County, that's in Oklahoma, the Texas County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Department requested the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to investigate the suspicious disappearance 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. Kelly is from Hugoton, Kansas, and was traveling with Butler to pick up her children. They never made it to their pickup location. According to the OSBI, their vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 95 and Road L south of Elkhart, Kansas, in rural Texas County, Oklahoma. Butler has several tattoos, a Chinese symbol on her left forearm and a sunflower on her left shoulder. She was last seen wearing a blue short sleeve denim shorts, a blue short sleeve shirt, denim shorts, and Hey Dudes. I actually know what Hey Dudes are. They're a cool kind of shoe that my nephew in California wears. Kelly has a butterfly tattoo on her left forearm. She was last seen wearing whitewashed blue jeans, a long sleeve shirt, and tan or beige shoes. Anyone with information regarding this case is asked to contact the OSBI at 800-522-8017. I'm going to put a banner up on the bottom so that we're going to keep that number on the screen for anyone who knows or may have seen anything related to this case or these two women who, again, disappeared this past Saturday, March 30th of 2024. Okay, thanks for posting it, Martha, on your Facebook. Appreciate that. I'm going to show you a little bit of news coverage because there has not been much on this. And this one I actually have not even.
Sophie, are you here? Hello? I can kind of hear you.
Well, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Okay, so what we go on?
Okay, maybe I need to turn up my volume.
Yeah, what we got going on here is we've got two women
Okay, good.
that had left on Saturday to go pick up one of the women's children to bring them back for a birthday party on Tuesday. The police are being very tight-lipped. Melanie is an attorney, and she has dug into some court records that is going to show some light to this story. Thank you, everybody that's here. Thank you for bearing with me. I do not know how to pause it. Even I watched 50 videos today. Hey, it is what it is. I'm going to do the best I can. That's what I'm going to say. So with this being said, I see a lot of people out there are talking about trafficking. You know, Oklahoma is one of the biggest trafficking places, but it's usually out of the truck stops where it's being trafficked out of. We're going to go ahead and start this again. And yeah, the little girl was going to a birthday party, but this lady, Miss Little, she will continue to go on with it. And I'm going to continue to play it. Listen, I can only give you the best I can give you. So this is my best at this moment. So with that said, here we go.
Even watched yet. This is Elizabeth Vargas from, I think, just earlier this evening. And you're going to see what little information they're giving the public. And I'm going to tell you what I found.
Well, hold on. Let me see if I can help you a little bit. There we go.
All right, here at
Better,
News Nation, we've
hopefully.
covered plenty of missing persons cases, enough to know that when people vanish, they rarely do so two at a time while on their way to pick up the kids. Yet that's just what appears to have happened to two moms in Oklahoma this past weekend, leaving behind one abandoned car and a slew of unanswered questions and a terrified community. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation hasn't released many details, but this much we do know. 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly were traveling together to pick up children, and they never made it to the pickup location. Authorities say the car they were driving was found on the side of a rural road between Elkhart, Kansas, and Eva, Oklahoma. Highway Patrol have called both women at risk. News Nation correspondent Brooke Schaefer joins us now live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Brooke, what are you learning about this mysterious case?
Elizabeth, still so many questions surrounding the disappearance of these two moms. Like you said, we know that Veronica and Jillian were in a car. They were leaving Kansas, driving to rural Eva, Oklahoma to pick up children over the weekend. when they seemingly vanished. Authorities found the car they were in abandoned near the highway. Today, a school not far from where these women were headed put on lockdown. The superintendent telling parents there are still so many unanswered questions. And for that reason, students today were kept indoors, doors stayed locked, and extra security was called in. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and local authorities today working to find these moms now missing since Saturday, calling their disappearance suspicious.
As of right now, as the investigation continued, when we were requested, we are unsure where these women are or what happened to them. That unknown is what has created it suspicious for.
The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, they gave a little bit longer of a interview today to a local station, which I'm going to play for you in a few minutes. But when he says something like that, like, we have no idea, that's concerning to me.
For us at this time.
And today, we don't know how authorities found that car abandoned on the side of the road, what state it was in. We asked investigators if these women left any belongings behind. Was there blood? Were the windows smashed? So far, officials unable to answer our questions about that, as family and friends of these two women, of course, desperate to get them back home. Elizabeth?
Wow, Brooke, a whole school put under lockdown as the search goes on for those two moms. Thanks so much, Brooke Schaefer, reporting live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thanks so much for watching. Go to join.
Okay. Well, somebody in the chat got it right. Veronica Butler is the mother of two. Today is her daughter's 6th birthday. It is today. She also has an 8-year-old son. She and the father were never married, but in 2018, they broke up in December of 2018. Everything that I'm telling you is from the official court documents, official court record. None of this is speculation or conjecture or made up. I'm telling you the story of what I learned by digging into the court documents today. And Oklahoma has an incredible court website. It's easy to navigate. The records are all there and you don't have to pay for them. So this is like due diligence that any reporter could have done. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a reporter, but when I fell into this rabbit hole today, I couldn't get out. So Veronica Butler and this guy, the father of her two children, broke up in December of 2018. By February of 2019, the father filed a petition for paternity and for custody. At the time, I think he is now 25 years old. So they had children young. And there was a battle. The court initially gave custody to the mom, Veronica, and the dad said, you shouldn't give her custody because she keeps moving and she doesn't tell me where she's moving. So she moved, I think, from Oklahoma to Kansas to Colorado, back to Oklahoma, back to Kansas. But the court said we're giving the mother primary custody. Regardless of that order, in the summer of 2019, the parties, both of them, the mom and the dad, Veronica and the father of her children, agreed that they would have weekly visitation exchange. So 1 week with him, 1 week with her, 1 week with him, 1 week with her. And they did that for a while until the dad appealed that decision. And there were some interesting things that I found in the appeal of that decision, just facts that I'm going to put up on the screen.
Okay, with that said, Sophie, you keep popping out and
I
popping in.
know, because it's not, the StreamYard is like not in totality on my phone. Like
Oh.
it's like maxed. Like I can only see like a tiny little picture of you, and I can't. And so when I just tried to zoom in so I could watch it, I hit the leave button, but it's like super tiny at the bottom. You can hear me now though, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
That's the important part. I'm going to set my phone down and not touch it. You go ahead.
So to chat. What we're finding out here is that the police is being very tight-lipped.
This is super scary.
They're not letting anything out. But this attorney has dug all day long to find things out. She's finding out things of the father, things that's happened. and she's really good. So we're going to continue to let her talk. Sorry about the little mishaps there and here and there. I'll get it. This is the first time ever I've tried to share a video. We'll get it figured out. That's all I can. That's the best I can give you right now.
Because he, the dad, was recently in prison on a felony charge of possession of a firearm as a prior felon, which somehow was dismissed and he was let out on probation. Then he violated his probation with 2 other charges and was thrown in jail for 30 days. We're going to get to all of that. But he was just released from jail on March 22nd. And his family owns a farm in Keys, Oklahoma, which has something like a population of 267 people. And apparently they own a very large farm. Hi, Sherry Wilson. Oh boy, this is going down fast. I seem to be the only one with this information. And when I said your name, my computer thought I was talking to it, and now it's trying to get me to say more. No, Martha, it's not sounding good. And literally, I just learned this myself from digging into the court records. So when I'm watching other channels and they're talking about trafficking and drugs, and I'm like, let's just look to who we would look to, right? In a normal situation like this. And look, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just telling you what I found today. So let's take a look at some of the court documents. And this shows a summary of the case. And this goes back to something like 2021, I believe, when the dad appealed the custody determination. And eventually it was reversed. So eventually he did have custody. And now it seems that Veronica Butler has supervised visitation on Saturdays. And in order to pick up the children, she has to bring with her a court-appointed custodian. Jillian Kelly is on the list of the court-appointed visitation custodians. And so I can make the leap to say that that is why Jillian Kelly was with her, to supervise the exchange, to supervise the visitation, and it was a Saturday. Let's take a look at the facts as set forth in the father's brief. None of the names are mentioned, so I am not, certainly never would, dox anyone. And I'm not even going to tell you any names. We're just going to look at this, and I'm going to tell you it's the father of her 2 children. And this is from the appellate brief. Exhibit A, summary of the case. Father and mother have 2 children, a son and a daughter. Mother and father initially lived together with the children in a residence owned by the family of the boyfriend of the paternal grandmother, father's mother. Okay. I am going to tell you the boyfriend of the father's mother, because of course, while I was in my rabbit hole, I found out who that is. He was arrested over the summer in July and charged with feloniously pointing a firearm at a person. That charge was mysteriously dismissed in August of 2023. So that is the grandmother's boyfriend to which they are referring, and I believe it's the same boyfriend that she still has now. They eventually separated when father's mother required her son to vacate the residence and allowed mother to remain in the residence with the children. So let's call him, the dad, we'll call him W. W's mom kicked him out and let Veronica Butler stay in her house with the children. So that tells you, I don't know, either how much she loves her grandchildren and wanted to keep them there, how much she wanted her son out of there for whatever reason. But she kicked her son out and let Veronica stay there with the children. The testimony showed that father's mother even discouraged contact between him and his children for a period of time, a few months leading up to the filing of the petition for custody, visitation, and support on February 27th of 2019. Father even requested that mother be designated as the primary caretaker of the children, first in his petition and second in his application for temporary orders. After the filing of the petition, the relationship between mother and father's mother began to deteriorate, and mother had to move out of the residence with the children, and father's mother began to be more involved with the father's side of the case. Remember, this is the father's petition, so these are his words, or his lawyer's words, really, but this is his side of the story. As a result of having to leave the residence with the children, mother was left having to establish her own separate residence for herself and the children, as well as find employment. At a contested temporary orders hearing on May 6 of 2019, the judge awarded mother custody of the children, awarded father a specific schedule of visitation. And then it goes on to say that all of the issues that they had and why he thinks that he should now be awarded custody. And eventually, like I said, the custody determination was overturned and he was awarded custody of the children. I'm going to show you a copy of the order because for those of you who live in the area, I need you to help me find out where, if anybody knows where Four Corners is. That was the custody exchange place. It was called Four Corners. So I'd like to know, I couldn't find Four Corners on a map. It may just be a landmark that people say, oh, I'll meet you at Four Corners, and it may be some sort of an intersection. Let me first, before I do that, show you a picture of the actual road where their car was found abandoned. This is the intersection of Oklahoma Route 95, and I believe it's L, like the letter L road. I'm going to assume this was during daylight hours because that's when most custody exchanges were done. I also found out from reading the court file that originally they had the sheriffs accompany, or Veronica had the sheriff accompanying her on her exchanges because of allegations of DV that in the father's papers he say were unfounded and that they were dismissed, and that eventually the sheriff's office said to Veronica, you know what, we're not going to even supervise your exchanges anymore because
What happened?
Oh, I was muted. It seems to be there's some custody problems going on. Oh, I'm getting an echo. Anyway, that's what the attorney's getting into now.
Okay. Scary.
It's very scary.
So, is a lot of this part of Oklahoma look like this?
It's agricultural land, and it's
Yeah.
very much this way.
Yeah. I could see
I
that.
keep myself and forgetting to unmute myself. Okay, here we go. All on me. I'll take it.
because we don't think you need it. So, oh, is that at the intersection of four counties? Okay, that's where the four states meet?
No way.
Would that be in this area? Because this is Oklahoma. So this is Kansas. I-95, and then here's L Road, and this is where the car was found, right in this area. I mean, you could see how desolate it is. This is giving me vibes of Jared Bridegan and Shanna Gardner. You know who that is? Shanna Gardner hired some guy to cause Jared Bridegan to have a flat tire, which made him come out of the car with his 2-year-old in the back seat. And she hired this man to run out of the bushes and kill him. It's giving me that vibe.
Whoa. I don't like that vibe.
And tell me if it's giving you that vibe too. So apparently, Jillian's husband called the police when he could not reach her. We don't have a time on this. They haven't released what time this happened, but I'm assuming it was during daylight hours. They were going from Hugoton, Kansas to Eva, Oklahoma. It's a 48-mile trip, and the car was found 3 miles from where they were supposed to pick up Veronica's 2 children. And it said for a birthday celebration, which totally tracks because the little girl's birthday is actually today, April 2nd. And I found that also in the court documents. But that is a very scary and desolate roadway. The car was found abandoned near Highway 95 and Road L south of Elkhart, Kansas, in rural Texas County, Oklahoma. This is Texas County, Oklahoma. I have learned more about the counties in Oklahoma today than I ever thought I would, I have to say. I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to pull this up because it does have names in it, so I'm just going to read it to you. And this again is in the court documents. This was a petition that was filed in Cimarron County, Oklahoma, November 30th of 2023. And then this was a petition for visitation. And it says, now on this 21st day of November 2023, this is the court order, comes on for hearing the issue of prospective supervisors for the defendant's visitation. In this case, Veronica Butler, the missing young woman who's 27, is the defendant. The plaintiff, the father, appeared in person without an attorney. The defendant appeared in person by and through her attorney. And the intervener, who is named here, is the mother of the dad of the children. So it's the grandmother of the children, the paternal grandmother that we were speaking about before, who owns the farm in Keys, Oklahoma. She also appeared. So she's an intervener. And apparently she wants something to do with this custody petition. Maybe she is also trying to get custody. That's what it looks like to me. So the grandma also appears. And then the court orders as follows. The intervener, that's the grandma, shall inform Veronica every Wednesday whether the approved supervisor, and the approved supervisor's name is Cheryl, is available to supervise the upcoming Saturday's supervised visitation. The intervener, the grandma, shall be responsible for any and all supervision fees charged by Cheryl. So for those of you who don't know, if you have supervised visitation that is court ordered and you have to provide a supervisor to supervise the visitation, that does cost money. It's not free. Somebody's got to pay that person to supervise the visitation. And then it says, okay, so the grandma says that she's going to pay for the supervisor. And it says, defendant, that means Veronica Butler's supervised visitation shall take place exactly as ordered herein on December 7th of 2022 and filed herein on September 25th of 2023. This has been going on for a long time. This has been going on for 5 years, this custody battle, since 2019. And then it says, in the event that the approved supervisor, Cheryl, is unavailable, the grandma shall notify the defendant, Veronica, by Wednesday at 5 p.m. And then the defendant shall be allowed to use any of the following as approved supervisors. There are 3 listed, and one of them is Jillian Kelly, who is the woman that was with her in the car this trip going to pick up Veronica's 2 children. One who's the daughter turned 6 today, and the son is 8 years old. It says, none of the parties of this case shall have the unilateral authority to cancel any visitation or disqualify any of the above mentioned court-approved supervisors. If any party should have a problem with a visitation or a supervisor, the party shall file a motion and a hearing will then be held regarding said motion. All visitations shall continue unless and until there's an order of the court stating otherwise. And then it says, supervised visitations shall take place, this was the first one, Saturday, November 25th, 2023, and shall continue on each and every subsequent Saturday as currently ordered until further order of the court. And then, and this is where I need my local folks, It says the parties shall meet at Four Corners for exchanges of the minor children for visitation purposes. It just says Four Corners in quotes. Does anybody know where Four Corners is? And if it's anywhere near, if it's within 3 miles of I-95 and L Road, south of Elkhart, Kansas, in Texas County, Oklahoma? So it says the party shall meet at Four Corners for exchanges of the minor children for visitation purposes. If visitation takes place at the home of the defendant, Veronica Butler, the defendant's husband shall be allowed to be present in the home during visitation. So it appears that Veronica Butler got married at some point and she has a husband. And then this is what I find really curious. I'm going to even put this up on the screen because this is how curious I find this. Except it doesn't want to come up right now. All right, here it is. Under no circumstances shall the minor children be exposed in any way to CV at any time. CV. Who is CV? And why? Four Corners Trading Post. Thank you. Thank you, his old lady. How far is that? Oh, somebody posted it. Erica Olson posted where the Four Corners is located. Oh, thank you. Four Corners is an unincorporated community at the US 64 412 HW South 95 Junction. So were they 3 miles from there? I can't do this while I'm talking to you, but I know how good you guys are with the Google. Well, I am on here in the mapping, but this is disturbing to me. Under no circumstances shall the minor children be exposed in any way to CV at any time. Thoughts? So I am assuming they were heading to Four Corners to do the custody exchange. I am assuming that Jillian Kelly was with Veronica Butler for purposes of the court-ordered supervised visitation. There are a lot of things that I could not find, like why there was all of a sudden supervised visitation when it had been.
So supervised visitation. Sounds like there was problems to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is just getting scarier and scarier. Ashley, I do know you're sharing them groups. There is a Facebook group. I'm getting a feedback. I don't know if anybody else is.
I don't hear your feedback.
Okay. Well, there is. I hear it. There is a page, but I do not know. So that's going to be difficult for me.
Okay, this is so that just that photo of that road. I could. Do you think we could pull it up on maps by typing in Four Corners? To me, saying Four Corners any state is not is going to be.
It's called a Four Corners store.
Oh,
And it literally is right there where New Mexico,
that makes
Colorado,
sense.
New
Yeah.
Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Kansas meets.
Okay, makes sense.
It's literally right there. Listen, I did a lot of reading today. I thought I had this figured out, but it's just a little more tricky than I thought it was. And it looks like Eric found the father's name.
Oh, let's look him up.
Yeah, I had not been able to find it, but I literally found this an hour and a half ago and thought, shoot, I better share this. So
Yeah, this is like straight frightening. At first, when I was looking at it, I was thinking like Dillon Rounds, like that area where it looks like so scarily desolate.
yeah,
But it's a whole different situation.
Oklahoma's flat, Kansas is flat. We have a lot of agriculture. We do
Yeah.
wheat, they do wheat, they do all kinds of things. So yeah, it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
Let's get through this one because I think there's a few more that I found, hopefully, that I can pull up too. But this one's kind of long. I just wanted to make people aware of
Pretty amicable before. Are the children
Yeah.
missing? I don't know. I
Absolutely.
believe that.
and I cut you off.
Oh, hi, Lauren Conlon. Hi, Lauren Conlon. I was reading your Twitter, and it was very excellent. And that's what got me going in the rabbit hole. I was reading the entire court file today. Veronica's brother is CV. Okay, thank you. That's who CV is. Okay. Must have been some sort of allegations against him, I think, in the past. And And that's what Lauren says, who abused one of the children. This just keeps getting creepier and creepier. Thanks, Seagirl. I'm not going to put anybody's names up here because obviously innocent until proven guilty. This is nothing more than a theory of mine based on everything that I have read in the court file of Oklahoma. Everything that I have pieced together today in my rabbit hole. Here's what else I found out. So here's the dad. Here's the dad, and here's a revocation of his suspended sentence. I think I redacted his name, so that is not going to be here for you. So originally, like I said, he was arrested on gun charges. Apparently he's a felon and he had possession of a gun, which is a big no-no, as we know from the Adam Montgomery case in New Hampshire, because that's how they were able to arrest and keep Adam Montgomery in jail while he was awaiting trial for the murder of his daughter, Harmony Montgomery. That was a tragic case, but they got him on gun charges because he was a longtime career felon and he stole some guns and he was in possession of a gun. Doesn't mean you shot a gun. You can't even have possession of a gun if you are a felon. So back to my notes here. The dad was arrested for possession of a firearm as a career felon in November of 2023. So this is interesting. November 16th of 2023. A bench warrant was issued. Remember that the order that we just read, that was signed by the judge for that custody stuff, the first visitation was supposed to start November 23rd, right? Of 2023. It was a Saturday. So that must have been signed before this bench warrant was issued. So the bench warrant was issued for possession of a firearm after a former felony conviction. He was arrested, brought in on November 16th of 2023, spent the night in jail, $10,000 bail or bond. Then in January, he pled no contest and he was given 24 months supervised probation with a 6-year sentence that was all suspended. But then here's what happened, because this was a motion to get rid of the suspended sentence, because it says here that on the 26th day of January of 2024, the court sentenced the above named defendant to a term of 6 years with all suspended under the custody and control of the Oklahoma Department of Corrections pursuant to the district attorney's rules and conditions of probation entered by the court under statutory and or court imposed rules of probation. And he signed and initialed about 3 pages of a list of things that he was not allowed to do. But he did it, because here's what he did. On February 21st of 2024, which was not even a month after he got his suspended sentence, he was arrested and charged with domestic assault and battery in presence of minors and public intoxication, and with domestic assault and battery on his mother-in-law. Now, I need to point out to you that he did marry another woman, and their marriage license was issued, and they were married that same day by the judge, July 31st of 2023. So I'm going to assume that these offenses were against his current wife, not Veronica Butler. Lauren, if you found out anything else, please chime in. Ashley says, how is he getting the charges dropped? Listen, when I plugged these names into the Oklahoma court system, it lit up like a Christmas tree. I mean, the amount of, granted, a lot of them were traffic offenses, seatbelt offenses, but even the grandma had a bunch of tickets for not properly restraining a child under 4 years old in a car. Like she didn't have a car seat, or the kid, I mean, you still need a car seat under 4. And there were a number of those kind of tickets. And I don't know. I don't know if this family is connected. I don't know how these things get dismissed. If they are a well-known family, I don't know. Maybe you guys might know. You guys who are local. So because of the domestic assault and battery on his mother-in-law and on who I presume is his current wife in the presence of the minors, which I assume are the children that he has with Veronica, he was sent to jail for 30 days. And he went to jail and he was just released from jail on March 22nd of 2024. And I have that paperwork as well. So let's take a look at that. I mean, this just, you can't make this up. Also, something that I found very interesting, and for those of you who live there,
All that part, all of Oklahoma. I'm looking at Google Maps, and all that part of Oklahoma is just plots. It's
Yeah.
just like square land plots of farming space, right? There's like nothing forever.
Well, in all fairness to the team, I kind of dropped this on them at the last minute, so because I wanted to get it out there. But what I was saying is there is a Facebook page for Texas County Sheriff's Department in Oklahoma, and it's got like 82 comments. So I was reading it as she was going because I have watched her, but I wanted you guys to watch her because she seems to be the only one putting out any good information. So we'll continue.
Let me know if you know this, that when you go to jail in Oklahoma, when you come out of jail, they send you a bill. You have to pay a bill. It's $50 a night in Oklahoma for the privilege of spending time in the Cimarron County Sheriff's Office jail cell. $50 a night or $50 a day, it says. And then they have on here $30 in other expenses. So his 30-day stay from February 21st, 2024 to March 22nd of 2024 was it cost $1,500, $1,530. And they have a law, an Oklahoma statute, section 979A, that requires you to pay the bill for being in jail. Good Grandma says, I mean, there's a sheriff, but the county is huge. Which county are we talking about? Yep. Hi, Scott. Hi, Scott Measures. My mods are the best on YouTube, and I'm not afraid to say it. Room and board. That's right, Scott. Jonas Glow, another one of my amazing mods. Never heard of that before. Wow. I don't think in New York they send you a bill when you get out of jail because, well, we don't really send anybody to jail here anyway. We just let them go with ankle monitors after they chop up bodies. But, you know, it's not a violent felony if you mutilate a corpse, apparently. Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for the super chat. He was due an inpatient rehab on March 22nd. Yep, I have those papers. Let me just pull that up. Here's the next thing we're going to look at. Thanks for reminding me. I do tend to get sidetracked, but I do thank you so much for the super chat. And why don't you call me or email me? You should come on with me one day. So you have a lot of good information. And you're like me, I think. I think you're like another Alice. Like you fall into the rabbit hole and it's all over. All right. Let us see. Let's make sure this is kind of redacted. Okay, so here is his personal recognizance appearance bond that was given to him on March 22nd when his bill for prison says that he was released at 8:13 a.m. So after the 30 days, it says that I hereby request the court to order my release on this personal recognizance. I've been advised that anyone so released who willfully fails to surrender himself within 5 days following the date of appearance set forth herein shall upon conviction be guilty of a misdemeanor and may be fined up to $1,000 or imprisoned for not more than 1 year or both. Further, that such criminal prosecution shall in no way interfere with or prevent the exercise by the court of its power of contempt. And then it says here, I've been further advised that anyone so released who willfully fails to surrender himself or herself within 30 days following the date of appearance set forth herein or who willfully fails to comply with these terms shall upon conviction be guilty of a felony and may be fined up to $5,000 or imprisoned for not more than 2 years or both. In consideration of such release, I hereby agree to appear in person at
I'm reading right here where they said that they were headed to Eva, Oklahoma, and the car was found south of Yarborough School, which on the map isn't even 6 miles away from where they were supposed to get the kids.
But I wasn't sure. I can't not finding the Four Corners exactly. But if it's only because that's super close to Eckhart, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're calling it Four Corners
Okay.
Cafe, but when you look up Four Corners Cafe, there's like 10 in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You like find all sorts of Four Corners all over the country.
So trying to track down Four Corners Cafe is, in a brief moment, is going to be kind of hard to do, I think. Let's go ahead and finish with his criminal history because he seems to have a big one here.
Yeah, first suspect.
in said court within 72 hours of release or departure for any reason from inpatient treatment at Salvation Army in Oklahoma City. We're going to look at that in a second, but it appears to be some sort of work camp / adult rehab center.
Adultery
Hereafter
rehab?
referred to as treatment center. Treatments shall start on the 22nd day of March 2024 at 8 a.m. Upon leaving the facility, I shall appear at such time as directed by the court and there to abide the order of the court until fully discharged. It says here that he may not have in his possession any alcoholic beverages or intoxicants or drugs of any kind, that he shall report to the treatment facility for successful completion of a not less than 6 months inpatient alcohol substance abuse treatment program. So he had to go for 6 months. He was supposed to appear and get there on March 22nd of 2024. We do not know if he made it. I don't know if anybody else knows that he made it, but and then he was to appear in court back no later than September 25th of 2024. And there's other conditions here, like he can't violate any laws while he's out or anything such as like that.
Yes, Ashley. So Ashley sent me in Discord. There is a gag order on this case now.
Already?
I can tell you that the custody case documents are now locked down by the court. Could be 2 reasons. This case is now getting a ton of attention, and those documents contain very sensitive information regarding the minors. The second, because the case has involvement in what has happened, as most of us already knew, felt anyway. The focus is finding these 2 young ladies.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get through this video here. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Sophie? I'm not trying to cut you off.
Yeah, you're not cutting me off. I'm like, all I'm doing is listening to your video and searching Google Earth because I am blown away by how there's like nothing.
Yeah, I'm looking in the background too as this is playing. So.
Yeah, you can play it. Go for it.
Let's go to the chat for a moment. Also, if you can see this is Rickman's most recent ex. She's scared for Veronica, and then read the comments. I can't, if you put a link in there, I don't think it'll come up. My email is fanbase@mlittlelaw.com. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, there are Facebook groups out there. I mean, all this information is readily out there. So when I watch these shows doing this, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, 5 minutes, really, 5 minutes of research. And we could know so much more about this case. I know this is always about the victims, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. We need to have them. We need to find them. But when I hear people out there talking about trafficking and drugs and stuff as such like that, it makes my blood boil because I think that you and I can see what possibly may have happened.
This isn't a drug trafficking
his mom
case. Jesus.
Had the kids. I don't know if he lived with his mom still. They have a big farm. He talked about in the papers how he would take the children out every day at the farm and how they could check on the cattle, and that's what he did with them. And then here's another weird thing. Veronica, he was mad at Veronica because Veronica was taking the kids to his grandmother, and his grandmother had wild turkeys, and his grandmother, apparently he does not like his grandmother very much. His grandmother was having the 2-year-old daughter feed the wild turkeys while they were pecking her.
What?
So it was the children's great grandmother, and there was a whole page and a half about the turkeys pecking this 4-year-old daughter, a girl.
What?
Hi, Lisa. Tell me about it, Melanie. I can't stand those who sit for 8 hours making up stuff with no research. You know this. I don't cover a ton of cases. And the reason that I don't is because I don't want to come on here and give you a half-assed version of whatever it is I'm talking about and play a whole bunch of media and not actually look into it. And so I actually look into it. Thank you for appreciating that. I appreciate that very much. Rory says, sounds like Okies to me. So how does he get visitation after beating women up in front of kids? They allowed my daughter to be with her drunk dad. He made big bucks, high-functioning alcoholic. Well, Rory, that's horrifying. I submit to you that high-functioning alcoholic is an oxymoron. An oxymoron. But yeah, it's insane, right? So let's take a look at, there was a local station, and I like to go to the local stations for my coverage of this because I find that they take it so personally and they are really invested in it. So I'm going to show you from earlier today. It was about actually only 5:30 this evening. A local reporter from a station, 12 News, in Wichita, Kansas, did a great interview.
Of course they did.
With the Oklahoma. Let me put that back up here.
I went to school with both broadcasters.
If anybody knows anything, has seen anything, please contact the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, 1-800-522-8017, or they have a tip line, email tips@osbi.ok.gov.
Good afternoon. I'm Keith Grant, joining you from the 12 News Connected desk. Now, 2 women from Kansas are missing. A post shared by the Hugoton Police Department says Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly are the 2 missing. We'll bring them up here real quick. These 2 women were on their way to pick up Butler's children, but they never made it. Now, Kelly is from Hugoton. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says their car was found abandoned on the side of the road in the Oklahoma Panhandle. There hasn't been too much released about this situation. Hunter McKee, Public Relations Officer with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, joins us now. Good afternoon, Hunter. These women have been missing since March 30th, so that's Saturday. From the time they were reported missing to now, what does OSBI know?
What we know so far is that their vehicle.
You can hear in the background of his newsroom, there's a lot of chatter. So it's not me, it's them. But it's a little bit annoying, but we'll deal with it.
Was found by the Texas County Sheriff's Office, and this was near Highway 95 and Road L, and this was just south. So when you're looking at that Texas County, northwest Oklahoma area that is near the Kansas border, just south of the Kansas border, their car was found parked on the side of the road there. The 2 women were gone though, and there was no trace of where they might have gone.
Yeah. Who did anyone report them missing, or did law enforcement find them? Or find the abandoned car, I guess.
The Texas County Sheriff's Office was the ones who their deputies found that vehicle in that area. So as soon as they found the vehicle and realized that there was something suspicious about that vehicle and that the women that occupied it were gone, that's when they requested us.
Of course. What did they find inside the vehicle, the car?
In regards to our investigation, we cannot release the condition of the vehicle or what was inside. We can say that the vehicle that the 2 women were driving was a small blue SUV. And again, we are still investigating what we were able to find inside of the vehicle to help us lead to finding these 2 women. Also, where they were traveling to. We're still looking into that as well.
Okay. Where, I guess, do we know where the women were last known to be seen before this?
We do not know. We know that these 2 women were from Kansas, that they were driving from Kansas. They're both from the same area there in Southwest Kansas. So we know that they were driving together and they were driving to Oklahoma. But the exact destination of where in Oklahoma they were going, why they were driving through, I know that there's been a lot of people put some information out on social media, but right now our special agents with the OSBI are still looking into where they were going and what they were exactly doing.
Of course, I guess with some.
Why is it that I know and you know that they were going to 4 Corners? How do we know that and they don't? He's keeping it really close to the vest on this. I mean, we just looked at the court order that says where they have to do their custody exchanges. Aren't they like FBI? Oh, this is, I guess, their State Bureau of Investigation. It's not federal, but so do we compare them to like MSP, like the Massachusetts State Police? Is that the same sort of, on the same level? We know where they were going and we know why they were going there. I don't know why they're keeping it so close to the vest. It could help. It could help find these women.
So much limited information from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Why are they considered endangered missing persons?
Well, this is a very, very rural area of northwest Oklahoma, as we've said before. And when you have a vehicle that you know was occupied by these 2 women, parked along the side of the road, and they're both gone, it's extremely concerning. And so when you don't hear from them since Saturday, like you had mentioned, it's something that we're all, obviously aware of, that there's a lot of concern, and there's a possibility that they can be in danger because nobody knows where they went.
Of course, so that's kind of leading up to it. And of course, as you mentioned, the rural.
Well, they could be in danger because nobody knows where they went. I think there's a little bit more to it than that. Listen, I'm not an investigator. I'm simply an attorney with many, many, many years of experience. But if you want the public's help, I think you need to throw them a little bit of a bone.
Area. So is there any suspected foul play at this time?
We can't confirm that there is foul play at this time. However, again, with their vehicle being parked along the side of the road, with nothing else being around there, and the women are gone, it's something we are. Let me just put it this way: all possibilities are on the table of us investigating what may have happened.
Of course, I know that OSBI hasn't really confirmed where they were going, but on social media, there's been, they were going to get their Butler's kids. Do we know? Have you guys had any contact with her kids?
At this time, we've had contact with several people that knew both of these women and had contact with them in the hours and days
Okay, that wasn't the question. The question is, has anybody contacted the children? Are the children okay? He doesn't even answer the question. Scott, one of my other amazing moderators, who is 25 years, retired, NYPD, says, you can say it, Mel, he's not a smart man. I back the blue 100%, Scott. I do. But like, what? Just let everyone know that the children are okay. That's what everyone wants to know. I'm concerned about the children. Let's take this back a second.
At this time, we've had.
Of course, I know that
Oh,
OSBI
yeah,
hasn't really
so-
confirmed where they were going, but on social media, there's been, they were going to get their Butler's kids. Do we know? Have you guys had any contact with her kids?
At this time, we've had contact with several people that knew both of these women and had contact with them in the hours and days prior to them going missing. However, right now we are still investigating if they were going to see children or who they were going to see exactly. Again, it's hopefully information as we're gathering that we'll have a little bit more clarity to. But as of right now, we're still unsure if they were going to see children or who they were going to see exactly.
Yeah, Hunter, I guess why is there so little information being shared about the situation? I know that it's kind of.
Did he just totally avoid answering that question
Yes.
about whether anybody has spoken to the children, whether they're okay?
Going all the way around it.
Hey, Lenny, I'm going to try and pull a map up. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, go back and
We do
listen.
have a
He's
map.
like
Let this play
really
out, and
dodging
then we'll
it,
get to that
which
next. But
is
thank you for that
even
question.
scarier, right? Like, where's the
Thank you.
kids? Where's the grandma?
Highway 95 and Highway 412. All right, we'll do that on the Google Earth next. Let's let this play out.
Causing issues for that rural area of the Panhandle.
We understand that people are very concerned. People want to know what has happened. I mean, these two women, the people that you speak to, this obviously is not normal. Not only is it normal for them, but it's not normal in that area for a car to be abandoned and two women to just vanish. But again, it's a comprehensive investigation that has to do with a lot of different local law enforcement agencies. And part of our investigation is we have to look into every aspect of what may have happened, what may have led up to them going missing. So again, we understand that people want to know more, but this is information that we're still gathering through and diving through. And, we need to continue to look at this. And some of this is going to take time before we can necessarily release more information.
Of course, I know that this is causing issues for Yarborough schools, which is 2.9 miles from where their abandoned car was found. They're in lockdown today, as well as they haven't really said when they will end. I guess is there anything that you can say to the parents there? I know that as far as talking to the superintendent, it sounds like there's some parental concerns about sending their kids to school.
Right. And again, just to kind of for clarity on that, that is the school district's decision on that. So that was not anything that we recommended. As of right now, we do not believe that people in that area are in danger. There is not a suspect or suspects at this time. Again, we're looking at all aspects of this case of what may have happened to these women. So when there is a suspect, or if there is, we will let everyone know. But as of right now, because of that, we do not believe that the public is in danger at this time.
All right, perfect. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Hunter.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Once again, Yarborough schools made the decision to be on lockdown today. In a statement, they said, out of an abundance of caution, a decision was made by the administration to operate in the lockdown status for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. That's today. Saying, given the unknown nature of the missing persons incident, the close proximity of the event to the school, and parental concerns, we felt that it was in our students' best interest to lock down the school for the day. There was not a threat of any kind made to the school district. We'll have more on this on 12 News starting at 4 o'clock. That's in about a little under an hour and a half. We'll have more on this put together for 2.5 straight hours. From the 12 News desk, I'm Keith Grant. Have a great.
So it seems like they're trying to really avoid talking about the children. Why is that?
Yeah, that's super strange because the children aren't missing.
Well, thank goodness for this attorney who, got wind of this and pulled the court documents before they got sealed.
Right.
Like, to me, it seems like the police know more than what they're saying. Miss Kelly, her husband, the minister, I haven't seen any interviews with him. We already know that she's like a court, where she goes for meetings. I don't know if it's a court reporter or what you would call her. Something with DCF where, is supervised visitations. So, I mean, It don't take two rocket science to figure out that she was going with this lady to get the kids to bring them back for a birthday party, is what I see. What do you see, chat? What about you?
Yeah, what I'm wondering is if you got an alert on your phone. If
I
you're
did
only
not.
okay, you're only a couple hours away, and so they
Yeah.
didn't put out an Amber Alert. So they would have done that for sure if it was 4 people missing and 2
Well,
of them were children. But don't they do it for
only
adults?
with children. Amber alerts only go with children, and silver alerts go with older folks
Oh, okay,
or
okay,
anybody with disabilities that's
gotcha,
got
gotcha.
dementia or something.
Yeah,
I
sure.
was reading that there is a lot of people on the Facebook. They are out looking on their own, and I did see that there's a cave somewhere that they're trying to find to go dig in.
What?
Yeah, that's within walking distance from where that car is.
Whoa!
Interesting. And yeah, something's going on, Ashley. For the school to be on lockdown,
Yeah.
something's up.
Which school? Where's their school?
It
In
is it's right close to the reservation.
okay,
There's
so
also a
it's
native reservation there because they also say if you can't reach the sheriff to hit the native reservation up. So
okay.
I mean, I wish I would have got more information. I was just trying to get this out as soon as possible, but I personally will be looking into it. Hell, I might even be making a trip.
I know you're so close. What about so yeah? I mean, when they're talking about the school, is the school in Eva or whatever?
Ava, yeah, Ava.
Okay,
It was 9
Ava.
miles. The school is 9 miles from where the car was found. So
Okay,
under precaution, they locked down the school. The kids didn't get to go out to play for recess. Like everybody stayed in today. From everything I've read, they all stayed in. Now, boots on the ground. I'll take Smith and Wesson with me.
heck yeah, canines.
Yeah, for sure. Guys,
I'm
get
just
to see them work. They'd love it.
I don't even see a school. I mean, like looking at the map, it's just like farms.
Well, you would have to look in Ava. Did you
Oh
look
yeah,
at
I'm in Ava. I'm just like scooting around Ava in Google Maps, and it's like farm, huge farm plot. I see farm buildings. I'm not
well,
seeing like a populated area with homes that would constitute having a school close by there, but this is probably this maps, maybe Google Maps. I mean, like this
no
area.
danger to the public, but they got the schools on lockdown
Oh,
now.
I
That doesn't
found
make
this.
no sense. So
I found the school. Well, I mean, this is like the middle of no place. I can't. This is like way more desolate than most places in Idaho.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's
Let's see.
crazy. I'd like to know who reported the car.
I think that the native police is the one that actually found the car. And it was
Okay. Okay.
so
So
they
it's
ran
on
the tag. They ran the tag, and so they went back to see whose car it was. Went there, and that's how they found out that these two women went. But they know why the women went, but the police are refusing to tell why. It's weird. Let's get through this video because I don't want to keep people up too late. But see what else we can find while we're watching this.
Great rest of your day.
Okay, so that was kind of interesting, although he kind of gave us nothing. And how are we expected to help if we have no information to help? I know you guys are such amazing armchair detectives, and you seriously would get out there and help and look. And if you see something, say something, right? And we always say that on this channel. Let's take a look at the map. Yeah, the investigators are watching my live stream and taking notes. Maybe, Laura Liz, maybe. I don't know. All right, so here is the route they would have taken from, let me make this bigger. Hugoton, Kansas, which is up here in the right corner, to Eva, Oklahoma, where it is said that they were going. The place where they broke down or where their car was found abandoned somewhere. Let me see. I know that these were, I had it before. What town is that? Do we know what town that is? It was definitely on the route. So they were definitely on the right route. And somebody obviously knew they were going to be taking that route. It's about 48 miles. It's a 48-mile trip. And you just told me where Four Corners is. So let's see if we can find that on the map.
Wow.
The intersection of Highway 95 and 412. Okay, so that's right here. Here's 412. This is where they were going. Right here into this Four Corners area. Oh, look, it's like Four Corners, just like we said. But this is the route that they took, this one. And is it L Road? I need a producer. Road L, south of Elkhart. Okay, so here's Elkhart. I'm not Grizzly with the maps, you guys, or even Mike from Profiling Evil. He's really good with maps too. Here's Elkhart, route L. What did I say? Road L. So here, I think Road L intersects with 95. This should be it right here. Yep, this is Road L. So this is where the car was found, right around here. And it was exactly on their route. Because this is where they were going.
I'd love to know if the car driver's
Here's a
seat is
quick
in the
Google
same
Earth picture
place
of
as
the
when she was
road.
driving, or when a woman
You
was
can see
driving.
how desolate it is. Lauren says, Melanie, how do you stay up so late and do this so well? You know, because I do it all day. And plus I stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, I'm a night owl, Lauren. I don't know where you're located, but if you're a night owl too, join me sometime. So yes, Lenny said, do you have a map of where the car was found? Or were they still on the right route to pick the kids up? Yep. And this is what it looks like. And it is desolate. Thank you, Sherry, for becoming a new member. Appreciate you. Oh, Team Brittany, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You are the greatest. Always so generous to me, girl. I appreciate you so much. To be gifted a membership, you have to be opted into gifts and you have to be participating in the chat. And then YouTube distributes them randomly. I have no control over that. Cindy Church, congratulations. And thank you for becoming a member. Let's go to the chat for a minute and see what you guys have to say. What say you? Think Dust Bowl. Dilly Pickles is from the neighboring county, right? Dilly, you said? Think Dust Bowl. Yep, that's what it looks like. I can remember, those of you who know that I am a buff. I went to University of Colorado in Boulder, and I used to do that drive along Route 80, 80 West, from New York through Wyoming, I guess, and then we went south to Boulder. But I used to say that you could set your alarm, because we didn't even have cell phones at the time, for like 8 hours when you get into Kansas, and then when you get out of Kansas, you would just be through Kansas. Like, it's one road, tumbleweeds, and this is what it looks like. This happens to be Oklahoma, but having driven through Kansas, and granted, it was many, many years ago, but I don't think it's really built up much since then. Let me know. This is I-95, so this is a road that goes north-south. Susan says, me too, Melanie. Spelling bee comes out at 3 a.m. and I do that and then go to bed. Or the Wordle, is that part of the Wordle package? We have a family chat every morning with the Wordle. They have this new game now that I'm clueless. It makes me feel really stupid, so I just quit playing. I forgot what that new word is. That new game is, but I don't like it. Good Grandma says, my family is from around Highway 50 on the Kansas-Colorado border. Let's go Buffs. Yep, loaded hot. Kansas is the longest, most boring drive ever. Yeah, and it is super dusty and scary. Right, Joanne says scary. Route, no one about. Oksana says, Kansas is cop central. No speeding. It is so slow. So it is so slow. Yes, I told you when I looked up all of these people.
It's definitely Not I-70 or 135, that's for sure. This looks like in the middle of absolutely nowhere. For sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Larissa can't get through. Ooh. Getting some feedback on that mic there.
In the Oklahoma court computer system, a lot of traffic violations and a lot of other violations and a lot of stuff. That is not good. So prayers up for Veronica Butler and for Jillian Kelly, and let's hope that they are found, and let's hope that they are found soon. Ann says Four Corners intersections in rural areas usually have a lot of ghost legends. Just saying. Those of you who know, is that is it haunted? Let's see if there's anything new here. Any new news coverage, because I wasn't seeing a lot. The latest thing I saw was that one that we already watched with Elizabeth Vargas on News Nation. And then, I mean, that's like really it. Let me see if there's anything more correct. My own stream came up. And here's a little something from Dan Abrams from last night. He says it's breaking news, but really this has been going on since Saturday. So, I mean, maybe it's breaking for News Nation, but it's just kind of getting out there. So let's see what he's got, if he has anything to add.
Of Oklahoma, where a search for two missing moms continues at this hour. 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly were last seen on Saturday driving to Oklahoma from Kansas. People close to them posted on social media that they were going to visit Veronica's two children. Jillian was accompanying her. Police say the two women never made it to their location. Investigators say they found the small SUV late Saturday abandoned near the Kansas-Oklahoma border.
Their vehicle that we know was occupied by them was found along the side of the road. They were nowhere to be seen. We're not sure where they went. And the fact that it's been 2 days now and no word of where they might have gone, what had happened, why the vehicle stopped, why they got out.
No word from them, no phone calls. Police are concerned.
There are no suspects or persons of interest at this time. We cannot confirm that there was foul play. However, we do believe that these two women are in danger.
Joining us now, former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. All right, Bobby, we have limited information.
Oh, Bobby Chacon getting on News Nation. Love me some Bobby Chacon. So we do think they're in danger. Isn't that what he just said? Let me just take that back for a second because I got sidetracked and I wanted to hear what he said. He's not saying much more than he said today.
Gone, what had happened, why the vehicle stopped, why they got out.
No word from them, no phone calls. Police are concerned.
There are no suspects or persons of interest at this time. We confirm that there's foul play. However, we do believe that they are in danger.
They're in danger, but we can't confirm there was foul play. So I don't know. I know that there's a lot of smart people in the chat. What does that mean? We can't confirm that there was foul play, but we do think that they're in danger. How do you have one without the other? Anyone? Dilly says things will come out. Some is and was initially known locally. Not for me to say though. Right. That's why I'm not naming names, Dilly. I'm not naming names. I read up in those Facebook groups too, and I'm only reporting on what I could confirm in court documents. So if you are just joining, 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly went missing on Saturday, the day before Easter, March 30th, this past Saturday, on their drive from Hugoton, Kansas to Eva, Oklahoma, where they were to meet for a custody exchange. Jillian Kelly she's a court-ordered visitation supervisor, and she was with Veronica Butler in the car traveling to pick up Veronica Butler's two children from the custody of their father. We have court documents that show that he is supposed to be right now in court-ordered rehab in Oklahoma City at the Salvation Army after he was released from a 30-day jail stint on March 22nd for a violation of his probation, which included a domestic violence charge in front of minor children, which we are going to assume for purposes of this theory are Veronica's children. He did marry. He and Veronica were never married. He is married as of July of 2023. So he violated his probation on a gun charge, prior felony gun possession charge. He was given a suspended sentence. That suspended sentence was revoked when he was picked up in February of 2024 for a domestic violence charge against we believe his current wife, and also a domestic violence charge against his mother-in-law. Spent 30 days in the county pokey, or the sheriff's office in Cimarron County, I believe we said, and was supposed to go straight to court-ordered rehab. This happened on the 30th of March. We don't know much more than that, and we know more than the news is telling us based on the court records.
Joining us now, former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. All right, Bobby, we have limited information here, but based on what we do know, what are you seeing here?
Well, I could be wrong, Dan, but it looks to me like an abduction. Now, the only question then becomes, is it abduction from somebody they know, or was this a random opportunity? Somebody saw two women traveling alone in a vehicle along a deserted stretch of road or a rural stretch of road, and it was an opportunity crime. But I would have done, I hope they did an exhaustive search surrounding the area where the vehicle was found with dogs and drones and whatever. And then the standard investigation of talking to friends, family, coworkers to see if either of them had a beef or a dispute with somebody, either personal or financial. And you're looking into the backgrounds of each of them to see, but it certainly looks like an abduction to me.
One of the first things I think you'd want to know is, were they having car trouble, for example, right? Meaning, did they stop and something happened, or did they pull over? I would think if they'd had car trouble, the police would have said that, right?
Sure, and then why wouldn't one of them just get on the phone and call somebody? I think that I would also look to see if there's any damage in the car, because often when people want to get somebody to stop or pull over, get out of their vehicle, they kind of come up with all these fender bender things and to get them to stop and get out of their vehicle, and then the abduction takes place. So I would look very carefully at that car, whether there was any damage, even slight minor damage. You know, you have to really look carefully at that crime. That car is a crime scene right now. Was any of their personal belongings scattered around the car outside or something like that?
And one of the other things that I still don't know, we're going to hopefully find out, is that there was a report that they were going to a supervised visit with the kids. I don't know exactly what that means, but that could be another potential thing to look into, right?
He doesn't, Dan Abrams does not know what supervised visitation is. Did he really just say that?
And he's an attorney. Wow.
What's the Twilight Zone theme song? I can't even think of it right now, but if I knew it, I would sing it to you.
Yeah, so of course, a supervised visit means that that parent does not have, custody of that child or to be alone with that child.
Yeah.
It's a supervised visit. So you'd have to look into why that situation exists as well.
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation now.
So that's what Bobby Chacon thinks. Bobby Chacon thinks it's an abduction. I'm going to go. What say you, my friends? What say you? Laura Liz, I think it was an abduction. Yep. So car trouble. Got it. I thought Dan Abrams was an attorney too, Martha. I don't know. Somebody who lives near there, Dilly, or anyone else in the chat who lives in that area. Is there any service over there? Cell phone service? Thanks,
Oh,
Scott.
there is.
Over there in that area on I-95 around Road L, south of Elkhart, Kansas, in Texas County, Oklahoma. Here's Keith Hubert's opinion. I think the grandma is behind it. Dilly says, cell service is horrible off and on throughout the panhandle. Hi, Stacey. Stacey did abduction, and I think we are all thinking the same thing. Those poor kids. Yeah, I mean, we looked at the order. Supervised visitation. They shall in no way be allowed around that person named CV. Dad's got a felony gun charge as a felon. I don't know what the first felon was. The first felony was. I couldn't find that one. But he's just been spent 30 days for domestic violence against his own mother-in-law and maybe his current wife in front of the children. And here's a look at where he's supposed to be going, to the Salvation Army. It's an adult rehab center. And I don't know if he showed up. Lauren, have you been able to, did you fall into that rabbit hole? Did you call and see if he was a patient there? I don't know if they would tell you, but here's the website for that, the Salvation Army Adult Rehab Center. Their FAQs say, why is work therapy part of the Salvation Army's Adult Rehabilitation Center program? And then I don't know what that means. Is this like some sort of like wilderness like work camp like we saw the Frankie son sent to? And then it says, do the rehab participants know they would be participating in work therapy as part of their rehab? And it says yes, and they're supposed to sign a statement. How much of it is work therapy? No minimum, but all ARCs adhere to a maximum of 40 hours a week. I don't know if they're doing manual labor over there. I don't know. Does anybody know what goes on at this adult rehabilitation center in Oklahoma City through the Salvation Army? I can't really opine on that because I don't really know anything about it. So for me to just, but that's where he's supposed to be. That's where he was supposed to go when he was released from prison or jail. Cimarron County Sheriff's Office at 8:13 a.m.
Like a halfway house.
He was supposed to go straight there. I don't know if they transported him there. I don't know if he was supposed to get there on his own. I don't know. Pokemon says you have to work in the Salvation Army store to work off their room and board. Community service. Okay, so they're working like in the thrift shop, right? My kids love thrifting. I love that about my kids. Like they would rather go to Goodwill to shop for clothes than to go to Lululemon. Well, you know, they like that too, but I love that about them. That's, I mean, okay, so they're working in the Goodwill, you know, unloading the clothes and stuff, the donations maybe. RTD says abduction. This does not sound like an abduction or does not sound good. Yes, Rory, my prayers go out to these women. And I hope that they're found and I hope that they're found safe. But the deeper I dig into this, the scarier it is. Wild Man's mom says it's under HIPAA and we may not know unless we look for a warrant for not appearing as ordered. Okay, I will keep on the lookout for that. Thank you. Nancy Trouble, why does it seem that people with excuses for not being involved in anything bad end up going to some sort of rehab? I don't know. It seems like he needs help for anger management, you know, like, are they saying that the domestic violence issues are caused by his drug addiction or alcoholism? How about like, that's not an excuse. I don't know. But I don't know, Ann. I'm going to put up the missing poster again for those of you who are just joining so you can take a look at who we are talking about.
I know News
Authorities
Channel
in
4
Oklahoma
had
are looking
helicopters
for Veronica Butler, age 27, and Jillian Kelly, age 39, who went missing on March 30th, 2024 in Texas County, Oklahoma. They're now being assisted by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. They're calling it a suspicious disappearance. They're saying that they do believe that foul play is involved. One of the schools nearby was on lockdown today. Although they said we can't confirm foul play, but we do believe that the women are in danger, which I found to be an odd statement coming from a State Bureau of Investigation spokesperson, but that's what he told us. And that interview was just from 5:30 p.m. today. Here's a little bit more about their appearance. I'm going to leave this up on the screen. If you're just listening to me, I will tell you that Veronica Butler is 27. She has red hair, green eyes. She's 5'4". And Jillian Kelly is 39. It says brown hair and blue eyes, but to me, her hair looks blonde. Anybody with any information is asked to contact the OSBI at tips@osbi.ok.gov or 1-800-522-8017. Anybody was in the area of I-95 and Road L south of Elkhart, Kansas on Saturday. They're not even giving us a time. However, we do believe it was during daylight hours because they were going for a custody exchange. Hi, Daniel Patrick, and thank you for your super chat. FYI, Mike David of Red Bar Radio is reading your medical records live on stream as part of his ongoing investigation. I'm so sorry. Is this even legal? My medical records? What are you talking about? Reading whose medical records? I don't know what you're talking about. Stacey says, no, that's a federal offense. What? I don't know what that means. Whose medical records? You gotta clarify that for me, Daniel. But no, that's a HIPAA violation, so I don't think anybody should be reading anybody's medical records. What's the dad's name? I'm not going to give it out. You can easily find it. There are a lot of Facebook groups that have been formed for information regarding this case. So if you just search on Facebook for Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, you can find those Facebook groups and people are sharing information there. All of the information I've shared with you tonight comes from original court records. Yeah, I do. I read the court records. Thank you, Lisa. I think that was maybe a Baba Booey. Was that like a $5 Baba Booey? It's a kind of jeans you buy. Yes, Keith, it is. That would be the first name. You are correct. Yes, Jillian Kelly is the wife of a pastor. Actually, I think they call him a minister because I did find a Facebook post about that. Here's an actual post from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation authorized Facebook page. That says, this was from 2 days ago, OSBI investigates suspicious disappearance case in Texas County for immediate release, March 31, 2024. On March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Department requested the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to investigate the suspicious disappearance of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. Their vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 95 and Road L south of Elkhart, Kansas, in rural Texas County. OSBI special agents, along with local law agencies, are currently working to locate individuals. Anyone with information regarding this case is asked to call the tip line. It says the OSBI would like to thank the Texas County Sheriff's Office, Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and several other local agencies for assisting us with this case. We are, quote, protecting Oklahoma one partnership at a time. And here's another picture of the women. Keith, my email is fanbase@mlittlelaw.com. Stacy, yes, maybe they can track phones. That's right. But people say that there's spotty service. But yeah, Sammy Day, that area is so desolate. Sometimes it can give you the creeps. Sammy, I guess you are local. Future says there are some very strange people on the internet. Oh, girl, don't we know it? Don't we know it? There are some very, very strange people on the internet. I used to think Reddit was bad. When we covered the Maya Kowalski case, I thought Reddit was the place that all the crazies lived. But now I have learned that the cesspool of Twitter is where all the crazies live. It's insane. The Willow Christian Church put a post up that says, please be in prayer for these women. Jillian is the wife of our new minister, Heath Kelly, and the sister-in-law of our church member, Hillary Kennedy. Please pray that Jillian and her friend Veronica are safe and that they are found quickly. God, please bring these women home to their families that are so worried about them. And it seems that last night they had a prayer service for Jillian and Veronica and their families. They had note cards available for people to write notes to the family.
So I wanted to address Eric's question. What is Jillian Kelly's relation to Veronica Butler? I'd like to know. She was the supervised visitation person. She's the one authorized to do the supervised visitation. Is that not what everybody else got?
That's what I was typing to him. I was just trying to write that in chat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we heard at the beginning.
And you know, I mean, we don't know if drugs were involved originally, why the grandma had the kids. We don't know any of that. But, you know, that lady probably was the supervised visitation person. She also could go to church with her, but I still think they're under supervised visitation. I think we're missing a lot here. A lot.
Yeah,
Because they're not
agreed.
releasing a lot. That's what I'm assuming. Her video is almost done. We'll go ahead and finish playing her. If we could drop her link one more time, that'd be great because I really
Gotcha.
like her. So
Yeah, she's great.
somebody could drop that link, please. That would be awesome.
Ann says, Miss Kelly, it sounds tragically like collateral damage. OB, you're here. Oblivious Benson is in the house. Says Reddit is the safe zone. Crazies are on the talk and the twits. We thought Reddit was crazy during the Maya case, right? When the defense was pulling their theories right off the Reddit threads. But it's nuts. I thought, OB, that you might be interested in this case because I found out so much today with your skills. Here's another one with a super chat coming in asking me to think about Red Bar. Investigating my kids. You don't have to take this. Hope you sue. I don't know what they're talking about. People really want to pay me $10 to like crash my stream. Is that, I mean, I'll take it. I mean, YouTube takes 30%, but you know, I'm not going to highlight it. Stop with the lies. Oblivious Benson, we are at the church just right down the way from the thrift shop. I mean, thanks for the super chat, but you know, you're not really getting very far. Lauren, again, thank you. He was doing inpatient rehab on March 22nd. Did I cover that? If I didn't cover that one already, thank you again for another super chat. So Ethan Apple and Daniel Patrick have come in to crash the stream. Guess they're trying to get like the Baba Booey effect going here. Well, my friends, we are at an hour and 26 minutes. I think I've told you everything that I have to tell you about this, unless anyone has anything else to add other than the spamming of something having to do with medical records. Oh, Lord, get out. We're trying to find these poor women. Yes, please. Yeah, take the super chat and ignore. You know I will, girl. You know I will. Do we know if you know? We don't know if he reported to rehab. We do not know. So again, prayers up for the families of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, and we hope that they're found soon. And if you know something, please call the authorities. I'm going to put the banner back up again. with the information on where to call. And one more time, I'm just going to put the picture of the ladies up. 27-year-old Veronica Butler, 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. Our prayers and thoughts are with their families. We hope that they are found soon. Please share this out. We need to get the word out. Nobody's really covering this locally. I mean, even I only found like 2 stories on News Nation and some local channels in Oklahoma and Kansas that are covering this. Good night. Thanks again to my moderators who are the best on YouTube. They keep the chat classy every night. We had a couple of crashers tonight, but usually this is a very, very, very safe place to watch all things true crime. In fact, some of my viewers say it's the only place that their 95-year-old mom is able to watch true crime because we keep it classy here without the cursing, without the foul language, without the graphic reading and showing of certain autopsy type photos and other things like that. To all my channel members, thank you so much for being members and my little cupcakes. We can't make everyone happy, but we can make each other happy. Also, I'd like to thank the replay viewers and all the viewers. And if you wouldn't mind, while we're here, please hit the like button because it helps the algorithm. It helps get the stream out. We've got almost 1,000 people that were here and there's only like 347 likes. So please hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button too. It really helps. And that is your 88-year-old mom, Lisa. Thank you so much. Love you guys. I see you tomorrow night. Brandy Churchwell is coming on. I didn't post it yet or make the thumbnail, but Brandy Churchwell will be on with me tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern to talk all things Karen Reed. So you do not want to miss that. Hit the bell so you get all notifications. I'm gonna put it up soon. But remember, my friends, be cool, be kind, be classy. It's not hard, really. It is really so not hard. Peace out tomorrow night, 6:30. Brandy Churchwell and me. See you then. Good night.
Well, I'm so sad that there's not more, or this gag order is out already. This is so
Sherry
weird.
Jones' love story. It was like something I had never
I gotta
seen.
stop
He
this.
just
I don't know what
loved
to do
her
here.
so.
I wanted to do this too. Hopefully I can. Wanted to play this. This is a lady I saw from Wichita. Hold on.
And they're walking me through everything that had taken place since they got involved. They're the lead agency looking into things. A lot of agencies actually taking part into the case of these 2 women. So we have Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, again, women in their 20s and 30s from Hugoton. And so they were heading into Oklahoma to go and pick up Veronica's kids. At least that's my understanding of the situation. But they never got to that place of where they were heading to. We do know that they left Hugoton on Saturday morning, and then their vehicle was found in Texas County, Oklahoma.
What happened to her?
So past the state line of Kansas into Oklahoma, that far northwest part of Oklahoma, the vehicle in this rural area, the vehicle abandoned. So I had a chat with the OSBI, Hunter McKee, about what he can tell us about what they're doing in this investigation, how the vehicle is found, their concern for these women. Let's take a look.
And so, Hunter, we're talking about the case of
Same
these 2
guy.
women who went missing this weekend, Veronica and Jillian. A lot of concern from people from Southwest Kansas and certainly from the northwest part of Oklahoma as well. Walk me through what you know about this investigation.
Well, I think that anytime that you have a case like this where you have 2 women who all of a sudden their vehicle is found in a very rural part of the North Texas County area here in Oklahoma. Their vehicle is found, but they're nowhere to be seen. And us, along with other local law enforcement agencies, are still working to track them down. It is definitely concerning for a number of people in that area, in the northwest area of Oklahoma, and especially that southwest area of Kansas. So right now, I can say that we're doing everything in our power to track down these 2 people who went missing. this all started on Saturday, by the way. It was the Texas County Sheriff's Office on March 30th, Saturday, that located their vehicle. When the vehicle was found, but the women were not inside and they knew that they had occupied the vehicle previously, that's when they contacted and requested the OSBI to investigate that. Again, this was 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. And as we said, their vehicle, it was found abandoned. So this was near Highway 95 and Road L. This was just south of Elkhart, Kansas, very rural northern part of Texas County. When the sheriff's office requested the OSBI, our agents went up there that day to investigate where this vehicle was located, try to piece together as much as they possibly could to try to, determine what may have happened to both of these people. Right now, we can't say what the exact relationship is of these women, where they were going exactly, and what the circumstances may have been leading up to whenever they did go missing. But we're doing everything in our power right now to try to find out what may have happened. Just to try to do what we can to not only to find these women, but to assist our local law enforcement agencies up there too. We're all working around the clock right now since we've been requested, and doing everything we can. Like I said, when OSBI special agents got this, along with the local law enforcement agencies there, including Texas County Sheriff's Office, as soon as we started kind of going through what we know so far and what we're trying to find out, we're asking that anybody with any information on what may have happened, if anybody has seen these two women before they went missing, if anybody's seen them since, we really need people to contact the OSBI right now to allow us to kind of really try to find out what may have happened. There's two ways that they can do that. They can contact the OSBI. They can reach us at tips@osbi.ok.gov, as well as 1-800-522-8017. And again, doing everything we can to find these two women, and hopefully right now, we're calling this a suspicious disappearance, because as soon as you find a vehicle in the middle of really nowhere that was occupied by two women, and then those two women have really vanished, it's concerning for us as well. So we're really trying to figure out what may have happened and doing everything we can to find them.
Can you talk about the manpower behind everything? I know multiple agencies, certainly for Southwest Kansas, Hugoton Police, where they're from, involved here, Texas County, you all. Are there a lot of different units deployed to this? What type of searches are taking place now?
There are a tremendous amount of, again, not only the larger agencies like the OSBI, like ourselves, like the Sheriff's Office, OHP is assisting us with this as well, but so many of the local law enforcement agencies there. People have to understand that, two people just going missing like this does not happen in that area very, very, very often at all. So, of course, when this came out and the search began, everybody did everything they could, and this became a priority for so many of these agencies involved in this. And again, when we're talking about local agencies there, not only the sheriff's offices, the police departments, agencies up in Kansas have stepped up and helped as well. So in that northwest panhandle corner of Oklahoma, it's everybody that has stepped up and doing everything they can to try to find these women.
Yeah, it's got to mean a lot to the people who are certainly involved, people from their families, their churches. Just our hearts certainly go out to those people, and the law enforcement too, who are working so hard. I assume boots kind of on the ground. Is there anything in the air for these searches and all that, with the State Highway Patrol and all that?
There
too?
is all the helicopters.
Yes,
Yes,
there's all different kinds of searches. The technology that we're able to equip ourselves with, it's all being used within that entire area. Now, again, what makes it difficult is this is a very rural area, like we had mentioned. But we're talking about people who are on the ground looking, possibly drones, anything that we can use, that we can get our hands on to kind of just make sure that all of that surrounding area is being looked at as closely as it possibly can. That's something that we're using. And again, every law enforcement agency that is assisting with this is using their own technology and equipment in order to kind of look through this area. But again, it's a rural area. There's a lot of ground to track at this point around where that vehicle was found. So really just doing everything we can to make sure that we are looking through every spot in that area.
Can you comment on like the condition of how the vehicle was found and everything? And was that discovered by like Texas County, like authentically, like they just saw it like abandoned, or was this after Hugoton police put out like, you know, hey, we're looking for these people in this vehicle?
I can tell you this, that right now we can't comment on what the Texas County Sheriff's Office, on what kind of call that they received in order to respond to that area. I know that, of course, like I said, they called us, we were requested, and as soon as that happened, we knew that there was a abandoned vehicle with women missing, and at that point is when we began our comprehensive investigation to try to help the Sheriff's Office as best we can. But again, circumstances that led up to these women being, going missing, where they were going, where they were coming from, exactly, all of that is still part of our investigation right now.
Are there any additional? Oh no, please go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, that's what makes this tough right now. Is like, is that our agents are still looking at exactly what had occurred, why they were driving on this road, where exactly they were going. So all of that is still being looked at this time.
Yeah, that's tough. It's certainly, I mean, a lot of people have questions. Certainly, I know there's not a whole lot you can say in regard to that all, because we're not here to speculate. We just want to help. But again, if people are like, I feel like our community online, it really, to me, I mean, time is really important with cases of any missing people. But to see the shares that people have on this case, and to see the collaboration of law enforcement, I think it does speak volumes to the desire for any outcome, and hopefully a positive one.
Yes, I think that not only, I mean, of course, I've talked a lot about the local law enforcement agencies that have helped us out with this case and this search. But as you had mentioned, the people in that area, they want to know what had happened, and they care about these two people. They want, we're all hoping for the best outcome in this search. And, I think that a lot of the residents in Texas County and those surrounding Panhandle counties, even that southern Kansas area, they're all doing what they can. I can tell you this, that our press release, when we put this out yesterday, within about 40 minutes had close to 800 shares. And that just shows the amount of people that saw this and who really care and are willing to do what they can to help us out and help the local law enforcement agencies there to track these two people down, because like I had said, it's very important to them, and we're all hoping for the best outcome in this search.
When looking at the information you all put out, and Hugoton Police put out information just the day before too, warning and letting everyone know about this case, what's going on. I'm sure some people with the talk online and everything, they're worried for folks who live in that area too. Is there any alert or anything that we need to know about? Is there any concern for people who are out in that part of Northwest Oklahoma?
There is not.
Okay.
Now, if it gets to a point where if it ever gets to a point where we will definitely let people know. But as of right now, there is not a reason for concern. And again, we're still looking through all of this to see if somebody else could be involved. And if somebody else is involved, we will definitely let the public know.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, but again, if people want to let you all know, I mean, you can do it anonymously. You can contact local law enforcement or the OSBI.
Yes. Again, I'm just going to go through real quick. You can contact the OSBI. Anybody that knows where these women may have been, any little information about the case, anything helps. So you can contact the OSBI, tips at osbi.ok.gov. Also 1-800-522-8017. Any tip is very important for us. Again, if people can reach out to us, that would be great. We really appreciate everybody that has shared our post and doing what they can in order to help find these women.
Okay, great. Is there anything else, Hunter, that you think is important to mention?
No. As soon as I get anything, if there's any updates, I will be certain to let you know.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for your time. And we just want to get the word out there because a lot of people are just at it. I mean, obviously, it's so much invested even after you all put that post up online. So we do appreciate your time. So.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Cool.
I appreciate
it. Okay.
So I found cameras, but they're not. There's one camera in a town I can't see the name of, Optima, but it doesn't look like that's on their way. And then the other camera's over in Boise City, which is ironically named. And
in the country, I doubt there's a lot of cameras, but
yeah, not right there. I don't see any.
What I can say is I do have a lot of law enforcement friends that's from Kansas, and I probably still have some connections. I mean, I was state investigator for the whole state for 25 years, but I have no problems driving 4 hours and going and checking it out. I need to do some more research. I'd like to go talk to the husband, the minister.
Oh, the husband of the other missing woman. Gotcha.
Yeah, and see what he knows and see if he's willing to talk, which he might very well be willing to talk.
Well, I'm sure you're scared to death about it.
Maybe be able to hit up my my granddaughter's other grandfather. He's on the east side of Kansas, but he is the chief of police there, and we went to high school together. And he would probably be down to go, as a matter of fact. And look, and then I got my friend Pierre. He does the drones here, and he's a contract worker, but he does the drones for Wichita PD. I just texted him, so he might be down to go with me with his drones. I mean, he was just literally at my house today. So I wanted to bring something up while you guys were still here. Annette Lawless, she does have a Facebook page, and she said, I've had some follow-up contact with the OSBI. Again, no suspects or arrests have been made. I've asked the OSBI about accusations regarding Veronica's ex and that person's possible connection to the case. The OBSI cannot comment on that with me. And that's pretty standard with most active investigations and law enforcement contact. Some people say Mr. McKee repeated a lot of info. I think that's true. That's pretty standard for a public information officer to reiterate those talking points. And other people said they are not sharing everything. This guy is all over the place trying to respond to her question and ends up repeating himself and actually doesn't give any more information than we've read online or the news. Somebody else said, why can't they answer? Did the car have a flat? Did it run? Cell phones, purses, belongings, was car damaged, signs of a struggle, walking searches or evidence nearby, footprints, anything. Somebody else said, I would be curious to what phone pinged off the nearest cell tower. Any pings hit near their last ping. Keys in the car? No. If so, did it start and run? Were they walking from a broke down car? Geez, so many questions. Are they doing walking searches? Another person says they went by there 4 hours ago. This was earlier today. 4 hours ago, and absolutely nobody searching. There is nobody searching.
Why?
I don't know, but this is something that we just, if anybody has any information, I mean, I don't know about the team. If you're willing to put in some work and see what we can find on this. This is literally something that I found and I dropped on you. Really wasn't fair to you, but it seems something that was important. And maybe I'll just take off it tomorrow and head down there. I mean, I got nothing else going on.
I mean,
no problem doing it.
It's the middle of no place. It looks pretty flat. Like if you were going to see people, if people were, let's say that car broke down, even though it sounds like it's newer. Like let's say that car broke down and they got out and they're like, oh shit, we're in the middle of nowhere. Is that a road that truckers take? Is that a road
No,
that's a freight
no,
road? No, not at
no.
all.
No, usually, I mean, I-70 is the biggest road in Kansas. I mean, it goes clear east and west throughout the United States. And then you have 135 that goes north and south through Oklahoma City. But that is the panhandle, but you don't see a lot of truckers use that. I mean,
Okay.
even Highway 81 is literally not even half a mile from my house. That used to be the main highway that, truckers used until the turnpike opened. So,
Right. Only because I would, if I broke down in the middle, on this road, I would personally hope a trucker would drive by and see me.
there's nothing out there. Like I'm willing to go there just to show there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
But Eric had a question: who would get the jurisdiction, Kansas or Oklahoma? Where they're missing in Oklahoma, so Oklahoma would get that jurisdiction. Also, if there's a crime that's committed, it's committed in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, with that said, it would be Oklahoma's jurisdiction. Now, that don't mean that Kansas don't team up with them and try to find out everything, like from the minister and what was going on. But I'm with Joanne. I think they already have somebody in mind that they're watching. They know something's going on.
Yeah.
Because they're just not saying enough, and already a gag order.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
weird.
what the hell? Already a gag order? I mean, if it wasn't for and this attorney, she's out of California, and she got all this all day.
That's weird.
If you've never watched her show, she covers a lot of things, and she really is good.
I'll watch the show now. Thanks.
She covers a lot of good things, and I was subscribed to her before, and it showed up in my. I was just sitting here, I put my TV on home, and of course she showed up, and I was like, huh. So I started watching it and went to News Nation, and she seemed to have the best. So I say from here, I know we's getting our stuff together to continue on the Idaho 4, but I think we should try to get everything together that we can and find out about the grandma and everybody. And shit, I'll take a road trip. I have no issue. Smith and Wesson loves to travel, so.
I bet they do.
And the sad thing is, it don't seem like anybody's out there looking, and
It makes.
I'm no
doesn't it make you
JLR. Let
wonder?
me tell you what, I'm no JLR, but I ain't no bitch either. Like I don't back down.
Doesn't-
I mean, I could print me a media badge tonight and wear a media shirt, and I'm good. I'm good to go.
I'm so confused. Like I'm looking at this. Like, is this a bad area? Are people not searching because it's not safe? It looks
I think
there's
they're
no
not
one.
because they don't know much about it. I mean, you're talking really rural areas. So I mean, there's a lot of farmhouses, but nothing, right close together.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we looked up the town. I mean, the town where they go to school is not that big. And honestly, it sounds like to me, the grandma wanted custody, the dad wanted custody, the mom wanted custody. Like, there's 3 involved here in a
Yeah.
custody battle.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of farms. A lot of farm buildings. It looks like utility buildings. A lot.
yeah, and you got to ask yourself. Listen, good people do bad things. We all know that, but
Right.
I can't help but, in my opinion, to think that at some point, this mom and dad was probably involved in drugs, and that's why they're having supervised visitation. And that's probably, if we go digging, that's probably where his original felonies come from. Then he gets caught with a felon with a gun. I mean, there's just a lot to look at, but we need to find out why. Who said it was okay she could go get the kids. I think that the husband knows a lot, and I'm surprised he's not doing any interviews. So that tells me they know something, or he would be doing interviews looking for his wife.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. First person on the news. If my spouse was missing, first person on the news.
Yeah, and I haven't found a one with him. And we'll keep digging. For everybody that is in chat, we appreciate you being here.
Hey y'all.
No, it was all of a sudden. And listen, every time I do the live, you know, I'll get better at it. It's really new to me, but we'll figure it out. But I say we stay on this case. Like I'm down to stay on this case. I'm down to do boots on the ground.
Yeah. I want to know who's on the side of in the Kansas. Who's the partner, if there's a partner of the woman the woman who's going to get her kids. Are there people that were back in Kansas that she said she was bringing them back to a birthday party? I want to know who all is supposed to be at that birthday party. Like
Right.
what?
Maybe
all
her
of it.
maybe her parents.
Right.
Maybe her parents live down there
Yeah. And why aren't they on the news?
because somebody knows something. They're being type-lipped. There's a gag order for a reason. So, damn, I don't know. Joanne,
What?
I love it that you love this channel. I really do.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Joanne. We love you too.
I hope this channel, as a team, that we do really well. I'm really trying hard. Like if you saw the Discord I made you see, I'm trying really hard.
Yeah. It looks awesome.
But with that said, we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and unless anybody in chat's got any more questions, I mean, this is where we're at. You know what we know. If you do come up with something, hell, I'm going to go ahead and just drop my regular email.
What?
Actually,
Is it Rock Chocolates Happy Hour Drinks at gmail.com?
Yeah. If Rock Chalk had happy hour, I'm not, you know, my husband works for Miller Coors, and I don't even drink, so.
Oh, well. That's funny. It's it's because it's cold outside. Coors is best when it's warm, yeah?
Yeah, and here before long, we'll open up the, Joanne, if you're interested, and I don't know where our other one went. She might have went to bed, but she waited a long time. Here before long, we'll open up the Discord. Happy Faces, yeah.
Yeah, hey, Happy Faces. I saw you earlier in there.
And open up Discord and get you ladies in there if you want to be part of the team even. You know, we're going to try to do our best. There's a lot we're still going to go. Yeah, Veronica lost custody somewhere along the way. And that's why, and usually that's because DCS gets involved. They're also the ones that put in place that you have to have supervised visitation.
So is it both parents? Like if one parent is a criminal or has done something, whatever, but the other, let's say the mom has never done anything wrong, whatever, they still need a person, right? They still have to have a person with them?
No,
Oh.
because my husband's ex was into meth real bad, and she had to have supervised visitations. We paid for them. Actually, the state of Kansas tried to take her rights away. And I stood up and said, she's still their mom. Give her a chance. At least put her in drug court, something. You know, I'm not these kids' mom, and I don't pretend to be their mom. You know?
Right.
I didn't want to see her get her rights taken away, because once they take them away, you can't get them back. It's hard.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah. And, you know, listen, people get clean every day, you know, but I'm all for if they're on drugs that, you know, they shouldn't have their kids, especially if they're a high user.
100%. 100%.
They can't get clean. And it sounds like she was doing things right, maybe involved in the church. And anyway, this seems very interesting to me. And I hope they find them soon. And,
yeah. So when do they find the car? What time on Easter?
They didn't say.
Okay. So like,
but that car sat there overnight because Saturday.
Right.
They were only, what I read earlier, 6 miles from picking up the kids.
Because I've worked with truck drivers before, and through Albertsons, and I feel like a good truck driver see a couple women on the side of the road in the middle of no place is going to help, or at least see a abandoned car, might call it in, somebody like call it over the radio, you know.
Well, if there's nobody walking, you know, I wish man, maybe we should hit up their Facebook page and really ask a lot of questions. That was Texas County Sheriff, Oklahoma. We should just flood their Facebook page with lots of questions where they
Yeah.
have to answer.
Have you guys ever used Waze when you're driving? Because on Waze, you can mark when you pass the car on the side of the road. I know that's that kind of crazy since it's so rural, but it's like one of the ways when I drive even through like rural parts of Oregon and Idaho and stuff, they'll be like, there's a cop, or it gives you an alert, like there's a car on the side of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. People break down all the time in the middle of nowhere, but if somebody's walking, that's a different story. Joanne says, I heard Melanie Little live. 43 miles away. I think I read 46, but somewhere in there. I mean, pretty
Yeah.
close. It's, basically a 45-minute drive. It's not a big drive. So we'll just keep digging and see. Yeah, we got to look into Veronica too, and who was she living with, and what was going on. Listen, usually, I mean, I have a medical marijuana license, but most couples, when one does drugs, they do drugs together, and then when they get clean, they're separated. And sometimes one gets clean and one still does drugs, and
Totally.
I mean that's all hearsay, and we don't know.
No, but
it
that
sounds
is
like to me
that's
that
a
maybe she was on the route of getting clean, and that's why she was getting supervised visitation. Because no judge in Kansas is going to give you any type of visitation if you're actively using.
right. So he was just let out of prison. Was he not unsupervised from his
But
end?
did you not hear her say that he was supposed to be reporting in Oklahoma City and didn't show up?
Right, and didn't show up. Right, but yeah, we still
So
haven't, and we're not going to hear where the kids are. I
So
guess.
sounds
But-
like to me he's absconded. If I was to guess, from everything we heard tonight, Veronica was headed to the grandma's house to pick him up.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. I just was curious, like, why don't we know where he is? I guess because I mean, we all know that's the first person you look at. You're like, oh, well, who's the husband? Who's the boyfriend? Who's the lover?
Well, she was talking about that case that happened before, where that one guy got out to move the tire and somebody killed him, and come to find out his wife hired somebody to have him killed. I mean,
Right.
you never know. The guy that's absconded probably was living with the grandma with the grandkids.
Right.
And
Is that his mom? That's what I was wondering. When they keep calling her the grandma, I'm like, well, there's 4 different people here.
right. Not only that, at that stretch of road, there was 2 routes to go, but where they were at, both routes end up on that road.
Oh.
Somebody would have known that they'd be on that road.
Oh.
I mean, you can get. I watch it all the time.
Mm.
Them spike strips out, and you get flats, and they're really keeping it. If the car was in good shape, they would have said, like the one girl with the lizard or the bearded dragon. Her car.
Oh, yes. And they never found her. They still never found her.
No, but her car was fine. Except it had a flat tire, but I mean, she could have changed it.
Uh-huh.
She's been gone.
And somebody saw her at her car, right? Like somebody actually drove past her while she was still by her car.
Yeah, and then she showed up at a hotel. Even they
Yeah.
had all them cameras. I'm just saying that a lot of people probably don't travel that road, but I think the LE know more than what they're letting us know. It just seems that way. Because he sure did keep repeating himself and didn't want to let anything loose. Didn't want to let us know what condition the car was in. Anything. Didn't say where the ex was. Didn't say anything about the documents. Luckily, the attorney pulled them before they got sealed, so we know that they was active in court. We know he's absconded. Like there's a lot going on right there.
Right.
A lot going on. So we'll just have to keep digging.
We're doing it.
Digging. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, sounds like we've got everything. Yeah, so many questions. Eric says, does the Kelly lady have a husband? Yeah, her husband is a minister at a church. They're in Hugoton, Kansas. Her husband's a minister in Hugoton, Kansas.
How do you say that?
I read it earlier. that he was a minister in
What's the
Hugoton.
name? Yucatan?
Hugoton, Hugo.
Oh, Hugoton. Sorry, I was like, are you saying Yucatan?
Hugoton.
Gotcha. I got you. I see it now. I'm looking at my map.
Yeah, he is a minister right there at that church.
All right. It's all so close.
It is. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and
Yeah, I love y'all. It's super fun chatting with you guys tonight.
I'm sad. I'm sad that it was such a sad thing that we had to go on about. That's for sure. Yeah, I think the granny's of interest too, and hell, her son's already in trouble. He might have took out the mom so the grandma could have. I don't know.
Oh,
That's my opinion. Let's hope they're safe. But you know, my gosh, who disappears? It's Saturday, so Sunday. So Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. We're going into Wednesday here. That's
Fair
5 days.
Wednesday. I know.
That's too long to be disappeared.
Uh-huh. Yep, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. That's very scary.
Yep. And like I said, I hadn't seen anything about it till Annette Lawless came on my thing, and then this attorney. I was like, I really need to look at that. Well, you're welcome, everybody. With that said, we are going to work on some outros and exits, and do all that. But for now, you just get me and Sophie. That's
Yeah, sorry. We don't know what we're doing yet, but when we figure it out.
We're going to be the best there ever was. Listen, I look at some of these people that do it, and I'm going to tell you, I look at myself and say, God damn it, if they can do it, I know I can do it.
I know she can do it. That's what I think too. I mean, you definitely can do it. I know it.
Do it. Yes, we can make it happen. Anyway, have a good morning, guys, and we'll let you know. We'll keep up with the community post of where we're at on it, and if something breaks and we need to go live, the team's always ready to go live. I know that, but we'll definitely be digging. If you find anything, send it to me. I think I did put my email up there. Why me? Why not? @gmail.com. I did drop it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, guys. Until we know something, keep your ears open and share. If you would, go to them Facebook pages and just share, because it could be anywhere. Thanks, Miss P. Most definitely.
Yeah. Oh, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Much love, guys. We'll talk at you later.
Bye, y'all.